All right, hey there, everyone. I am First Alert Meteorologist Angie Lassman, and of course, the tropics are oh so busy. So let's talk about exactly what's going on because there are a lot of things to cover. And first and foremost, I want to show you Sally, what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, firstly, yes, dealt with some of the rain from this system before it was a hurricane. It is now a hurricane as of that latest update. You can see if we zoom up and out a little bit and put on some of those details, 90-mile-per-hour winds. So those winds have come up. West-northwest movement at 7 miles per hour. So it has sped up just by 1 mile per hour, and it increased in winds to 90 miles per hour, and that pressure at 986. So what does this mean as far as the next couple of days for folks that are in the Gulf states, the northern Gulf, Louisiana, Mississippi, portions of Florida, the Panhandle, all going to be impacted by this hurricane? And you can see likely becoming a category 2 by the time we hit tomorrow morning at 105 miles per hour. That would be a category 2 hurricane as it eyes the coast, eventually coming on shore. Notice that there is a little bit of a turn that it's going to take. So the center where it will come on shore, it's a little uncertain as of right now. But as far as the impacts, they will be far reaching. What do those include? Storm surge, definitely up to 11 feet of storm surge. So really dangerous conditions. You can see this includes portions of New Orleans and out towards Mobile. We will be watching for life-threatening storm surge to be lasting as this system moves ashore. So something to watch. Additionally, on top of the storm surge, potentially up to 2 feet of rain, 20 inches in some spots higher than that of rain. And you can see kind of where the bullseye of that is for that rainfall. Now, it's been very busy. We've had tons to talk about with the tropics, and right now is no different. So let's kind of break this down. I'm going to try to do it as easy as possible so that we can digest it all because there's so much to talk about. Now, you see Paulette, category 2 hurricane. That's likely going to become a major hurricane, category 3 here in the coming days. That was impacting Bermuda. Now hurricane conditions remain for folks there, but this is going to continue to move farther away. We are not worried about Paulette. How about Renee? Renee continues to dissipate. Still, we are also not worried about Renee. Now, if we go to the Gulf, that's where we, of course, are monitoring Sally, the category 1 hurricane for now, again, for the Gulf states. There's also an area that we have been monitoring, a really unorganized area of showers and thunderstorms that only has a 10% chance of developing. Why? A lot of upper level winds. So shear, you hear us talk about that a lot. Those upper level winds, not conducive for systems to grow and strengthen. So that's exactly what that area is going to be battling here in the short term. Now, let's move all the way to the other side of the Atlantic where we have Vicky and we have Teddy. Teddy formed this morning, tropical storm as of right now, and Vicky formed just about 11 a.m., also a tropical storm. And then there's one other area, I know, it's so confusing, one other area coming off the African coast with a 40% chance of development. Now, I do just want to give you a little FYI. I'm going to show you the tracks of all these, but we only have one name left for the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. So what does that mean? After that, we'll do the W. That's the next name. We don't do Z's. We end on a W name. And then we go to the Greek alphabet. So we still have basically half of a season to go. So likely seeing some Greek alphabet names as well for some name systems coming up. But what are all these systems going to do? So a couple of different things. Let's look at, where should I start? Let's start with Paulette. Again, category 2, going to continue moving out away into the northern Atlantic. It does intensify, but we're not going to worry about it because it's not going to affect any land masses. Renee, like I said, continues to dissipate into a remnant low. If you look south of Renee, there is Teddy, which could possibly become a category 3 hurricane, a major hurricane. We'll wait and see exactly how that track shapes up. Right now, we're not worried about impacts for South Florida down the line, but we will continue to monitor. Then there's Vicky. 45-mile-per-hour winds right now, becoming kind of maintaining that tropical storm strength, but then starting to encounter some conditions that aren't great for development. So you can see it kind of fizzles out into the central Atlantic. So lots to talk about, lots to monitor, and that's exactly what we're doing. Again, we can't let our guard down because it is only the halfway point was last week for hurricane season. So we have a long way to go. As of right now, the biggest concern for the United States should be Sally, which has rapidly intensified. It's those very warm Gulf waters that have helped that happen. So we're going to continue monitoring Sally, but of course, then the rest of these we will also be watching closely. And of course, if you guys have anyone or any questions that you'd like me to answer, I'm happy to do that. Gregory says that Paulette is hitting you now in Bermuda. Yes, that's exactly what I mentioned, the hurricane conditions and the torrential rain. Those are the impacts, but the system is pulling away. Now down the line, it'll continue to intensify. But yes, I mentioned that we for sure are seeing torrential winds and hurricane conditions as far as, or torrential rain and hurricane winds. It's Monday, right? In Bermuda. So as far as the United States, though, we are not going to be impacted by Paulette. We're not going to be impacted by Renee. We'll watch Teddy and we'll watch Vicky, but those would be well down the line. Ashley asked, how about Florida? No, not us. We're not going to be impacted by Sally. Again, that'll be the Gulf states, unless you're in the panhandle of Florida, which of course, not South Florida. So what else? You guys want me to talk about Sally? I did that right at the beginning. That was kind of the first thing. I'll just give you a little peek of that really quick first, or again, rather, and show you that one more time so that you can see exactly what's going on there. So if I make this full screen again, okay, just real quick, there's Sally. Really lopsided system, lots of moisture sitting on the east and south of the system. We know that from when it was kind of dragging through as a tropical depression across South Florida. But again, rapidly intensifying. Those waters are warm. So winds are up to 90 miles per hour. And we're talking about plenty of storm surge and rain. Again, up to 2 feet of rain possible. Also, that storm surge up to 11 feet. So we'll watch for that. Someone asked, do you think Florida will get a hurricane this season? We'll have to wait and see. I hope not. But as of right now, you know, we do what we can as far as forecasts in the short term. So 5 to 7 days is really what we're focusing on. And as of right now, it looks like we'll monitor, again, those two systems out in the Atlantic, but nothing for South Florida in the short term. Could Vicky re-strengthen down the road? Now we'll monitor it. Right now it doesn't look like it, but again, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but all of these systems bear watching. Vicky looks to kind of dissipate quite quickly, so it's not likely, but we're going to keep our eye on it, of course. Someone says they have a friend living in Pensacola. Will they be affected by Sally? If yes, when? So rain, they're already starting to see rain in that area now, and most of the moisture sits on the east side of the center. So the center isn't going to come on shore for Pensacola. We're not worried about that. The center more likely will be well to the west, portions of Louisiana. That's why those storm surge warnings are a little more far-reaching back to the west. You can see New Orleans included in that, and so forth, so on and so forth. But Pensacola still seeing some rain because, again, look just to the east of that system. Plenty of rain, still going to get the wind, still going to get the onshore push of water for storm surge. So we will be watching for the panhandle to be impacted by that. Will Teddy become a major storm? I did that in the beginning. Okay, so guys, I think I answered all your questions. If you have more, you can of course leave them on here and I'll try to get to them later. But we are keeping you up to date. You can always go on to our website, nbc6.com, and find all of the information that gets pushed out from our meteorologists immediately. We've got lots of details there. We're going to continue tracking all of these. You can, of course, access that by our app, on our app as well, in the App Store. And what's the last thing? Oh, and you can also watch me. I'll be on air at 4 o'clock. And then Ryan Phillips will be on at 5, 6, 7, and 11. So we've got you covered. We're going to continue monitoring the tropics and, of course, our local weather. And just a quick little tidbit about our local weather, just some scattered showers and thunderstorms because Sally's taking all the moisture with it. So we're not seeing a whole lot of rain chances today and through the rest of the work week. So All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a good rest of your Monday. Stay safe, and we'll keep you updated. You know where to find all that info. See you later.